Understood about all these? So what do you mean by cell membrane? Very good. It's outer most protective covering. Okay, protecting covering which is found the surface of the cell. Okay, so yesterday we have seen that what do you mean by cell membrane and how the invention came. Okay, in 1915 when the electron microscope came into existence, that time the scientists studied about the ultrastructure of the cell and came to know the proper structure and reason for that particular what we can say structure. Okay, so before 1950 scientists were doing research on the red blood cells. Okay, very important, they were doing the research on the red blood cell. So before 1950 only scientists have an idea about the cell structure. Okay, and its component. So remember that, and we have studied that there will be lipid bilayer structure in the cell membrane. Okay, what is this? What this structure is called as? Head. Okay, and this one tail. So it is a polar or non-polar? Polar and water loving. Very good. Okay, water loving, that we call it as a hydrophilic. Okay, see, remember this structure is very important, that's why I am explaining you again. So concentrate here. This one is tail. Okay, and it hates water, hence we call it as a hydrophobic. So remember, hydrophobia, I mean to say phobia. Phobia means fear of something. Okay, so this tail in the lipid bilayer hates water. Okay, it's a non-polar hydrophobic. Okay, these kind of structure is seen in the cell. Okay, so if we cut this part, the yellow color portion will be looking like this. Okay, so there will be head and tail structure which is having a bilayer structure. Okay, outer will be head, polar, hydrophilic, and the inner layer, which is the tail part, is non-polar, hydrophobic in nature. Okay, that's why they are maintaining the fluidity, and presence of cholesterol is also helpful in the increase of fluidity. Okay, remember that. And we have studied that fluid mosaic model. Okay, the phospholipid or the lipid structure which are present in the cell membrane are moving are diffusing laterally. Okay, remember the term laterally. There will be lateral diffusion in case of cell membrane, so that the lipids will move from one place to another with the lateral shifting of the position. Okay, so remember. And apart from these, we have seen that two types of protein which are present in the lipid bilayer structure. What are those?
Peripheral.
Very good. Peripheral. Okay. Second one, integral or intrinsic. So what do you mean by peripheral? Peripheral proteins are those proteins which are present in the peripheral region. Okay, either outside the cell or inside the cell. Okay, remember, peripheral protein are those proteins which are found on the cell membrane in outside the or inside the cell. Okay, and what about integral? Okay, integral protein are embedded in the cell membrane, okay, like this. These are embedded in the cell membrane so that it acts as a channel, because our cell membrane is a semi permeable membrane, hence it acts as a channel so that there will be a transportation across the cell membrane. Okay, we have studied till here in yesterday's class, so we'll move further. Till here clear? No, this is very important. And fluid mosaic model, which is given by Nicholson, Singer and Nicholson, they have told that the fluidity is maintained by the lateral movement of the proteins or lipids which are present in the cell membrane or plasma membrane. Understood now? So now the main function of plasma membrane is, listen carefully, the main function of plasma membrane is transportation. Okay, the main important function of plasma membrane is transportation. Okay, why transportation means? Because as we have studied that the plasma membrane is semi permeable membrane. Okay, it will not allow everything which is present in the nearby cell. Okay, it is having a selectivity or selective nature, so that whatever the cell requires, that molecules or that macromolecules or nutrition is everything is coming or permitting the cell membrane to come inside the cell. Okay, so remember, our plasma membrane or the cell membrane is semi permeable in nature, because it only allows the selected materials inside the cell. That's why we call it our plasma membrane as semi permeable membrane. Hence it will not allow everything which is present around the cell. Then there should be a transportation system in the cell. Okay, listen carefully. There are main type of transportation are, first one, passive transport. So consider this as a cell. Listen carefully, very important. And here the concentration of macromolecules are present, and it has a high concentration. So now the channels are located here, and through these channels these molecules are coming in from high concentration to the low concentration. So remember, passive transport is the movement of molecules. Okay, it is nothing but movement of molecules from high concentration to low concentration. Okay, without the involvement of energy. Okay, without the involvement of any kind of energy, there will be a movement. Okay, so passive transport is nothing but movement of molecules from high concentration to the low concentration without any involvement of energy. Okay, based on the concentration gradient only the molecules are going to move. Okay, that is nothing but passive transport. Okay, so second one is diffusion. So what do you mean by diffusion? See, diffusion is somewhat passive type of transportation. Okay, here also movement of molecules from high concentration to low concentration. But the material moving from high concentration to low concentration is gases. Okay, gas are moved from high concentration to low concentration. That we call it as a diffusion. Okay, so remember, passive transport, it is also moving from high concentration to low concentration. Okay, all the molecules or macromolecules can be coming in through the passive transport. Second one is diffusion, movement of molecules. That molecule should be in the form of gas, then only diffusion occurs in the plasma membrane. And third type is osmosis. So what do you mean by osmosis? See, these are the processes which are taking place without the involvement of any type of energy. Okay, so everything should move from high concentration to the low concentration. So osmosis is a same process. It is moving from high concentration to the low concentration, but the molecule is water molecules. Okay, so remember, osmosis, movement of molecule. Okay, that is water from high concentration to low concentration. So the movement of water molecules from high concentration to the low concentration, we call it as a osmosis. And last one, the last transport is active transport. So what do you mean by active transport? Along the concentration gradient means the molecule should move from high concentration to low concentration. In case of active transport, okay, there will be movement of molecules from low to high. Okay, so remember, movement of molecules from low concentration to high concentration against the concentration gradient. We call it as a active transport with the help of energy. Okay, remember, with the help of energy, that is ATP. Example for active transport is sodium potassium pump. Understood? So the plasma membrane's main function is transportation. Okay, there are mainly 4 type of transportation we can observe in the plasma membrane. First one is passive transport. Here the movement of molecules from higher concentration to low concentration without the involvement of any kind of energy. Okay, so diffusion, it is a movement of molecule. That molecule should be in the form of gas. Okay, movement of molecules from high concentration to low concentration, but the molecule should be in the form of gas. So, in case of osmosis, movement of water molecule from high concentration to low concentration. Okay, here also the molecule should be in the form of water, no energy is required. Okay, so next one is active transport. Okay, movement of molecules from low concentration to high concentration against the concentration gradient, okay, with the help of energy, that is ATP. Understood? Now audible? So, remember all these important transportation system in case of plasma membrane. Okay. So, apart from all these, plasma membrane is also helpful in endocytosis. Okay. And apart from all these, the plasma membrane also function in the endocytosis. Okay, if the particle should move inside the plasma membrane, then the plasma membrane will become like this. Okay, it will engulf the particle which are going to be what we can say transported inside the cell. Okay, the plasma membrane, apart from these transport system, it is mainly helpful for the protection, endocytosis, secretion, okay, and many cell growth, like many other function is going to performed by the plasma membrane. So, plasma membrane plays an important role in any organism. Okay, so remember that. So, we will move further. We have studied in detail about cell membrane. We have seen the structure. We have seen the researches which was conducted on the many animal cells, that too specially red blood cell, and next we have seen that what are the structure and two bilayer, that is head and tail part, and why those bilayer part is arranged like that only in the cell membrane, we have seen that, and what are the proteins present, what are the lipids present, and what are the carbohydrates which are present in case of plasma membrane, we have seen that. Okay, and also the transportation system, which is very important because our cell membrane is a semi permeable membrane. It will not allow everything which is present in the in outside the cell. So, there should be a transportation system. These are four very important transportation system which are seen in case of plant cell, or I mean to say animal cell. Okay, so remember this. So, we will move further. Okay, wait. So, we have seen cell membrane. Now, we are moving to cell wall. Okay, we are going to study about the cell wall. Okay, just wait and see. If not, then the recordings will be provided. Okay. Yeah, tell me. Okay, next structure we are going to study about the cell wall. Okay, so what do you mean by cell wall? So cell wall, next structure we are going to study is that cell wall. Okay, we have completed the plasma membrane and we are going to move towards the cell wall. So what do you mean by cell wall? What do you mean by cell wall? It's a rigid structure at least ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ sir. Found in the plant cell. Okay, cell wall mainly present in the plant cell, as we have seen that plasma membrane is mainly present in the animal cell. So cell wall, it is a rigid structure, rigid non-living structure present in the plant cell. Okay, a rigid structure which is found in the plant cell. It is a non-living and made up of different chemical structure in the different organism. So remember, a cell wall is nothing but a rigid non-living structure found in the cell. Okay, so what are the components in plants as well as in some algae? It is made up of different constituent. Okay, before that, try to understand that in yesterday's session we have studied in detail. Okay, the brief overview we have seen about the cell wall, but try to remember, cell wall is nothing but it is a rigid non-living structure found in plant and animals. I mean to say plant and algae. Some of the algae there will be presence of cell wall. So what is the function of cell wall? It mainly helpful in the protection. Okay, cell wall is mainly helpful in the protection of the plant and some of the algae, and also not only protecting the cell but also it is giving shape to the cells. Okay, I mean to say it is giving shape to the plant cell as well as algae and different organism. Okay, so remember, cell wall is nothing but rigid non-living structure found in plants and some algae, and also its main function is protection and giving shape to plants. Okay, it's a very protective layer which is found in the plant cell. So remember, rigid structure found in plants and its main function is protection. Okay, and it gives proper shape to the plants. Okay, so there are two different, I mean to say the components. Okay, different components that is, in case of plant cell, it is made up of cellulose, hemicellulose, pectins and then proteins. Okay, it may be asked for 2 marks. Remember, the components which are found in case of plants are cellulose, hemicellulose, pectins and proteins. Okay. Second one, in case of algae. In case of algae, there will be presence of cellulose, galactans and mannans. Okay, and calcium also present in case of algae. Okay, this is very important. Try to remember, in case of plants there will be a presence of cellulose, hemicellulose, pectins and protein, but in case of algae the cell component or the cell wall is made up of cellulose, galactans, mannans and some other what we can say, calcium carbonate. Okay, so remember, this is very important. In case of, when we study about the cell wall, we need to know about the components which are present in plants and in some algae. Okay, so we will move further. So in growing plants, okay, in young plants, there will be presence of plasma membrane and a primary wall. This is the primary wall. Okay, and it is a cell wall. So this primary wall, what it does is, it helps in cell growth. Okay, it mainly helps in cell growth. Okay, so in the young plants there will be presence of, okay, in young plants there will be presence of cell wall, and the outer layer will be a primary wall, and when the plant is young there will be a cell growth. Okay, during that cell growth the primary wall is formed. Okay, after the growth there will be formation of another layer, that we call it as a secondary wall. Okay, there will be a presence of secondary wall. So try to remember, in the young plants, the cell wall, around the cell wall there will be a presence of primary wall. Okay, where the what we can say, the cell grows rapidly, and after attaining certain shape and size there will be a formation of secondary wall. Okay, it is, the primary wall will be outside the cell wall, and the secondary wall will be towards or inside the cell wall. Okay, so remember, it is very important, in young plants there will be a presence of primary wall which is helpful in the cell growth and differentiation, and next another wall forms after attaining maturity, another cell wall, that is secondary wall, is formed. That is, the first primary wall will be outside or inward to the cell wall, but in the secondary cell wall, the movement or the inside to the cell wall there will be presence of secondary cell wall. Okay, it is very important, remember this. Understood? So this is all about cell wall. Okay, the cell wall is a rigid non-living structure, and the function of cell wall is protection and giving proper shape. Next, the different components are present in the plants and in some algae. Plant cell is made up of cellulose, hemicellulose, pectins and proteins. But in case of algae, the component which is made up, the cell wall is made up from is cellulose, galactose, mannose. Okay, understood? So it is also one of the important point about the formation of primary wall and secondary wall. Okay, it will be the outside to the cell wall, and secondary wall will be the inside to the cell wall. Okay, understood? So this is all about the cell wall, okay, which is specifically present in plant and animal cell. It is not present in case of, is it present in animal cell? No. So try to remember, cell wall is only found in plants, not in animal, okay, and it is present in some of the algae, okay, and the component is all these things. So next we will move further, that is endomembrane system. Okay, so what do you mean by endomembrane system? What do you mean by endomembrane system? Endo means inside, okay. So endomembrane system is a type of system in which inside the cell there will be presence of some other organelles which are working in a coordinated manner, okay, which are working in a coordinated manner. Which are those? First one, endoplasmic reticulum. Next, Golgi bodies. Next, lysosomes and vacuoles. Now, these are working in a coordinated manner. So what do you mean by coordinated manner? See, remember, in case of endoplasmic reticulum, the ribosomes will be present, and those ribosomes are helpful in the formation of protein, because as we know that from nucleus the mRNA is going to produce, okay. From this mRNA the protein should be produced, okay, and these mRNA with the help of nuclear pores, okay, there will be a formation of small nuclear pore in case of nucleus, through which the mRNA is going to come out and it is going to form the protein, okay. So remember, in the endoplasmic reticulum the manufacture takes place, okay. So what do you mean by manufacture? Manufacture of proteins, okay. The manufacture of proteins are going to take place in case of endoplasmic reticulum, and next in Golgi bodies the proteins are going to modify, okay. In case of Golgi, the proteins which are produced in the endoplasmic reticulum is going to modify, and the lysosome and vacuoles are going to store the food or the proteins, okay, in the cell. So remember, endoplasmic reticulum is going to manufacture the protein and Golgi bodies are going to modify the protein, and in the lysosome and vacuoles they are going to store the proteins. These organelles are working in a coordinated manner, okay. But whereas mitochondria, okay, mitochondria, then which are the organelles which are not working in coordination? Apart from all these, okay, so remember endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi and lysosome, but whereas mitochondria is not working in a coordinated manner. So that's why the mitochondria and other some organelles are not involved in the endomembrane system, okay. So try to remember, important. So we are going to study endoplasmic reticulum, the cell organelle in detail, okay. So try to remember, endomembrane system are the system which are inside the cell, which are going to work in a coordinated manner. In endoplasmic reticulum, which is helpful in the manufacture of protein, and Golgi going to modify those proteins, and lysosome and vacuoles are going to store the protein, and mitochondria and in some other organelles are working independently, so they are not working in a coordinated manner, so hence they are not coming under the endomembrane system, okay. So remember that. So we move further, that is the first organelle, the endoplasmic reticulum. So what do you mean by endoplasmic reticulum? Okay. So consider this as a nucleus, and here the nuclear pore is present. So endoplasmic reticulum is going to start from this nuclear pore. Why? What is the reason? What is the reason? I have told you, the mRNA is going to come out from this nuclear pore, hence the proteins are going to manufacture in this endoplasmic reticulum with the help of this mRNA, okay. So the ribosomes are studied like this in the endoplasmic reticulum, okay. So remember, if the ribosomes are studied in the endoplasmic reticulum, we call it as rough endoplasmic reticulum. If the ribosomes are not present, then we call it as a smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, because as we know, ribosomes are the main cell organelle which are membrane. It is not a membrane bound organelle, it is a structure which are helpful in the production of protein, okay. So ribosomes are mainly involved in production of protein. So if that ribosomes are present in the endoplasmic reticulum surface, then we are going to call it as a rough endoplasmic reticulum, okay. If the ribosomes are not present in the endoplasmic reticulum, then we call it as a smooth endoplasmic reticulum. So what is the function of rough endoplasmic reticulum? To produce the proteins, and in case of smooth endoplasmic reticulum, it is going to produce lipids. So remember, it is a nucleus, okay, and the okay, it should be round. Like this, the endoplasmic reticulum is present and it is having the infolding to increase the surface area. So remember one thing, if a cell requires more number of proteins, in that cell we have seen that the number of these rough endoplasmic reticulum will be more, okay. So remember, if the cell requires more number of protein, then there will be increase in the rough endoplasmic reticulum in a cell, okay. So this is the importance of the endoplasmic reticulum. So endoplasmic reticulum is nothing but the infolding which is present in the cell, okay, and it starts from the start side of the endoplasmic reticulum is the nuclear pore. Why means? Because these nuclear pores which are located in the nucleus are helpful from where the mRNA is going to come out from the nuclear pore, and it is going to transport like this, and with the help of ribosome the protein is going to produce, okay. If the ribosomes are studied in the endoplasmic reticulum, then we call it as a rough endoplasmic reticulum which produces the protein. But if the ribosomes are not present, then we call it as a smooth endoplasmic reticulum, and it mainly helpful for the lipids, okay, and some hormones, lipid based hormones are going to produce from this smooth endoplasmic reticulum, okay. So remember this. Understood? Okay. So try to remember endoplasmic reticulum, the main function is the production of proteins, and the smooth endoplasmic reticulum for the production of lipids, okay. The importance of this endoplasmic reticulum is the production of proteins and lipids, and if the requirement in the cell of the organism is more for the production of protein, then there will be more number of rough endoplasmic reticulum, okay. So I have already told you the rough endoplasmic reticulum is mainly helpful for the manufacture. What it is manufacturing? It is manufacturing the proteins, okay, and now these proteins are going to move towards the Golgi complex, okay, the next organelle which is the Golgi complex, which we are going to deal in the next class, okay.